Now you have been invited to his home at the time customarily appointed for him to receive those who are not his equal in rank, yet not so far beneath him as to deserve to be ignored. What ceremonial gift will you bring? Bring a necklace of lapis beads. They do not suit him. They may suit a wife of his. If they don't suit her, he can use them for an offering. Bring a poem concerning snakes copied on a new scroll. 800 lines on the scaly deisms of the snake pit. Bring a comb made of bone. Perhaps he grows hair beneath his mask, which covers his whole head. Bring nothing. It is impertinent for one of lesser rank to presume to show charity to a superior. I'm kind of stuck between the lapis beads and the rats. Can I bring both? Like, would he have a wife? Do snakes have wives? I don't think so. So I'll bring a string of rats, because that seems very Cobra-like. For the cat. The rats are accepted, but immediately passed on to the household cat. A sleek, black, satisfied creature in its own small mask of filigree gold. Wow. What a patient cat. Awkwardly, this leaves you with no other gift for the geometer himself. You have no choice to depart early before someone thinks you have to have you remasked in a more embarrassing part. Can I go back? Bring you some lapis beads. Feeling blue, he gives them to a servant with orders that they be crushed and the powder made into pigment and the pigment used for painting. It is unclear whether this is a deadly insult. You aren't thrown out of the house at any rate. Okay. Can I bring you more? Concerning snakes? 2 honey cake. Poetry? Mixed results. He appears to be pleased by this gift, but it takes him aback as well. Several times he remarks that this sort of merchandise is something he would expect to be brought to the island by a bat. It requires a great deal of chittering and wing folding to persuade him of your moth nature. Enter the hollow of the ear. Oh god. Oh god. Is this my only option now? What did I do? On the lower slopes, no. Oh, okay. This is right. Enter the hollow of the ear is a place of still greater pageantry. This is a journey of several steps and may conclude your current visit. A proud nose. It is a festival day. The great stone face has been illuminated from the forehead to the chin with blazing torches, so that the profile is visible from the side more clearly than you have ever seen it. Flourishing of years is awake, said the genderless figure in a crocodile mask. Fall in line with the others. Strip off your mask and prepare to depart. With everyone distracted by this festival, your departure would not even be noticed. Bring a flare with me? I'm not going to do that. All the denizens of visitors are walking towards the great ear together. There is a place in the procession which belongs by right to the wearer of your mask. Okay. Among your own. You go as though you were truly one of them. You carry nothing with you but your mask and your costume. May your heart be as light as a feather, says the woman in the lotus blossom mask as you fall into line behind her. I have nothing. Oh, God. Inside the hollow of the ear. The road you follow leads up through switchbacks along the side of the face, and finally to the ear of flourishing of years, and the cave that is her ear. There's a lot of ear noises going on. The tunnel bends back on itself, and all lights have now been extinguished. There is nothing to guide you but the hand of the person behind you on your back, and the movement of the person in front of you. The one who walks beside you wears a bat mask. Fuck. Fortunately, the floor of the tunnel is very smooth, and presents no stumbling blocks. Sound carries strangely in this place. However, sometimes you cannot hear your own footsteps, and sometimes a breath comes back to you audible from someplace ahead in line. I don't know. Should I go? Continue. In line, the footsteps of the people are steady and synchronized, and you go together. For how many years has this been done, and for how many will it be done in the future? Watch your step here, says Bat Mask to you in an under voice. It is the accent of Wolfstack Docks! Floor is about to get squishier, and sure enough it does. The last tunnel opens out. There's another Londoner here. You and all the other congregants spread out in a cavernous space. The voice speaks of ritual and preparation. Here at the new year, Here at the new year, we gather under one mask of flourishing of years. Her face is turned to the gods. Protected by her mask, we may remove our own. Protected by her script, we may speak outside our parts. Here and there is a sound of people fumbling with ties and strings. Your own face feels different with the mask off. Fight the urge to giggle. Receive the confidence of a stranger as holy. Those who come as spectators may remain as participants. Wait and listen. Not much for blackmail. Fine. You move stealthily through the dark, hearing one knot of conversation, then another. The secrets exchanged do not offer much leverage. You can't see the owners of the secrets. Here and there you catch the smallest fragment of something that might serve you on future occasion. The memory of a voyage east, a half-rumor about a Carnelian coast, a muttering about the Admiralty. Let the ceremony end according to proper rites. An hour of confidence is drawing to its end. If there is anything else you need to do, now is the time. I got nothing to do. Last bell. At the end of the hour, there comes a woman in a feather of shimmering silver, which she tucks into your hand, symbol of the innocent heart that will not be eaten by the jackal. Egypt. Definitely Egypt. The Egyptian rites of the dead, you have your heart weighed against a feather, which explains the whole feather thing. Yeah, that's it. And if your heart is heavy with your sins, and heavier than the feather, then your heart is thrown to a jackal and it's eaten, and you do not go into the afterlife. That's the equivalent of hell. If it's lighter, then your heart is... You're given back your heart and you're allowed into the afterlife. So, yes, Egypt, confirmed. Then a bell rings, and the time of speech is over. You all begin to put your masks back on. It is possible... You cannot know for sure that this is cover someone else has exchanged a mask with someone else. Oh, so I've got a different... it is an orderly and perfect line that emerges again from the era of flourishing of years. If anyone watches from above, they must surely be satisfied. I got one secret, an occurrence. Your Vidge's ritual participant is now 9. Respecter of sacred mysteries. And I have one captivating treasure. If you made an ironclad will, you can convert these into heirlooms for your successor. Captivating treasure. You'll look away eventually. Continue. End your performance and leave the island. You can't stay in character forever. Go. Calmer. When the other citizens are distracted, you find your way to the familiar customs house and rid yourself of mask and robe. There is satisfaction in lying aside a role well performed. And I've lost terror! Okay. Is that it? Go ashore once you said... Okay. We've done that. We've done all of it. Alright. Where the fuck were we going or before this? I don't remember. We were going to the Fathom King's Hold. That's right. So let's go. Jesus Christ, I was not expecting that. Kapala Cove. I saw something flash over here. Oh, what's over here? Down? Holy shit, down? Do we want to go down? Just to see? I'm seeing sparks. What is that? It's not the Fathom King's Hold, I'll tell you that for free. Aferox channel? Alright, but that being said, I am going to... I shouldn't do that yet. I shouldn't... Isle of Cats. Isle of Cats! Discovered Port Cavendish. Ooh, is that what's here? I think Isle of Cats is a good trading area. I'm not sure. But let's see. Got an Isle of Rats and Hamsters. Let's go for an Isle of Cats. Isle of Cats, where there are roses. Port Cavendish. A scatter of yellow-lit honey dens and brightly painted alehouses. To the southeast rises the stone tower of Cavendish Abbey, its ramparts hung with crimson and gold banners. There are sailors from all across the Neath hauling cargo, dicing and brawling good-naturedly on the docks. The air carries the sound of sea shanties, sung with more enthusiasm than skill, and the smell of roses edged with brimstone. That's always good! Partial welcome. Welcome to the Isle of Cats, the wide-eyed dockmaster says brightly. Would you like to bribe me and to not write down your official details in the nice official ledger? Buy a shipment of red honey. A key to the cage guardians, and no more than one key to the cage guardians. Something waits at port. Sell sunlight. This is where we would sell sunlight. Sunlight, the most dangerous of pleasures. Here in Port Cavendish, there's an appetite for dangerous pleasures, but will you be able to negotiate with the sippers of sunlight? So, let's see. Where is this in relation to the Caribbean Canal? Go Gators, Morn, Caribbean Canal, Isle of Cats to sell this for most cash money, yo. Maybe later, though. Oh, that's right. I'm here. Practical welcome. Compile the port. Though the Isle seems at present beyond the reach of Admiralty's laws, that does not mean the Admiralty lacks interest in their activities. This looks like a knife. That scared the shit out of me. I'll pay 5 echoes. Sure, why not? I have now 1 menace's suspicion. That one was visible. You fucking saw that. Don't lie. You hand over the coins and she tips you a sharp smile before waving you to the nearest alehouse. The entire process is straightforwardly corrupt and pleasantly efficient. Okay. This is a good message for the kids. The alehouse's sign is a tiger painted on the color of rose petals. Someone has gone to great trouble and expense to gild the creature's eyes. They look out over the port, feral and unseeing. A caged hive of lamplighter bees hangs from the ceiling like a chandelier. A few sailors give you a hard-mouthed, assessing looks, but most ignore your presence entirely. Sufficient tokens. The caddies all wear a pair of amber stones threaded around their necks or pinned to collars. Clandestine doings of rites, spread conversation, clink of coins, exchange of goods. Religious observance. Is that a crimson-veiled nun? What sort of nun would be in a place like this? Leave the alehouse. We'll do sufficient tokens. Cat's eyes, one of them says, for the Pirate King. As far as you can gather, the Pirate King's name is Leopold, and he controls all the trade on the island. Half of the caddies believe that he can take the form of a crimson tiger and creep into their dreams. The other half suspects, more prosaically, that he simply eats those who displease him. It might be a thing. Amber stones that are around... So tiger's eyes, basically. Clandestine doings. The merest taste. You turn your head as though you are admiring one of the moldering draperies hung from the wall. A vial flashes in the buyer's trembling hand. He uncorks it, pours a few drops of thick red liquid down his throat. The vial drops to the floor. When you look back up, he's gone. You blink and look around. No one else seems the least bit perturbed that a man disappeared from their midst. You pick up the fallen vial and examine the traces left inside. Sticky honey gleaming with redness, entirely unlike blood. So is that prisoner's honey? Firkin of prisoner's honey? Religious observances. Hello, miss? Mellifera's sister, of course, she responds, performing a complicated negotiation between veil, thick glove, and a glass of mushroom wine. You ask what one of those is, she snorts. I'm glaring at you from underneath this bloomin' veil. You can't tell, but I'm giving you a look, young lady. You act appropriately cowed. The Mellifera's sister thaws a little. We are beekeepers and honey harvesters. The caddies owe their prosperity to us and the Pirate King too. She slurps the last of the mushroom wine behind her veil. The barkeep glides over to refill her glass, eyes respectfully downcast. So a honey is, in this universe, it's a, I want to compare it to opium, but it's more supernatural than that. Like, your hallucinations or your drug trips, like, it's treated like opium. They have, honey parlors or honey bars in Fallen London, and it's smoked or drunk or eaten like how the high class of London would have treated opium, but like it actually your hallucinations become real in that way that it does. There must be more to the Isle of Cats than drunken sots and Z stories. All right, laws of the land. The barkeep stops you before you reach the door and hands you a brooch set with 2 amber stones. He waits impassively until you pin it to your clothes. Everybody wears the cat's eyes here. Oh, so it's like actual cat eyes? He tells you, moving aside to let you pass. Just a friendly reminder that the Pirate King is watching. It seems that no place, then, is truly lawless. Pirate King's notice is now 1. You are almost entirely beneath his notice. So I'm gonna blend in. The honeyed tongue, Cavendish Abbey, compile a port report. It is both a brothel and a honey den. Honey dens, that's what they're called. Run by someone the caddies refer to as the King's Claw. Let's go hang out there. Let's see what we can... Oh, okay. We're at a brothel. Entering the brothel is like sliding into the dream of a surface orientalist. Jeweled embroidered cushions, bright silk drapes, gilded statues of elephants, sun bears, and clouded leopards. Silver censers release curling plumes of rose-scented smoke into the air. The courtesans are red-lipped and coal-smudged. When you catch their eyes, they smile back at you with professional interest. Your actions will attract the Pirate King's notice. You need 5 Pirate King's notice to gain an offer from a patron. Ask what red honey is. Comfort a Z captain. Oh god. I guess I can ask. You know, of course, only the particulars may have slipped your mind. One of the nearby courtesan's eyebrows lifts infinitesimally, but his reply is practice. When lamplighter bees suck the nectar of crimson strain of exile's rose, they are driven to madness. They enter the brains of human and harvest their memories. He shudders as though imagining the process himself. Those memories are instilled in red honey. Each sip is a burst of memory on the tongue. Deliciously awful, isn't it? He flutters his dyed feather fan. Gain 1 terror. So it's like a mixture of opium and Adam. Like, from BioShock? How they recycled the atom, so everyone's, like, memory was just slowly, like, making its way around the city, and that's why everyone went nuts. Comfort a Z captain. 60 fragments? Okay, why not? Pirate King, no more than... Swap tails with the honey smuggler. Alright. They're all tending the gardens now, she wails. She begins to weep again. My poor, poor crew. You wait for a hitch in the sobs and inquire further. It is a slow, delicate business drawing answers out of her, but you are nothing if not perseverant. It seems her crew was conscripted by the Lady of the Gardens, and that their duties are something far worse than horticulture. Horticulture. I know the word. Shut up. You leave her reciting the names of her lost sailors and commending them to Salt's mercy. All right, well, we know where we get the red honey from. We know whose memories are being eaten by the bees. The fucking bees. All right, we're leaving. Honey-eyed tongue. Cavendish Abbey. The crimson-clad Maleferous sisters patrol its ramparts and tend their hives of lamplighter bees. Oh, well, fuck you. Oh god, that thing looks awful. Oh, it's her veil. I just thought she just didn't have a face. The Maleferous sisters make their home in the richly appointed stone tower of Cavendish Abbey. Their thick gloves and crimson mesh helmets, that's not crimson, are worn less for modesty and more for practicality. They attend to the hives of lamplighter bees all across the isle and make a religious observance of harvesting red honey for the Pirate King. Gossip with a novice. Fuel for the bee smokers. 5 fuel. Meet with the Abbey is perhaps not. Can we buy fuel here? 3, 4, 5. It's fine. We're using all of our money, but you know what? We'll buy fuel for the bee smokers. Why not? The sister who tends the smokers is a talkative sort. We could learn some things. The sisters tell you that the Pirate King went to Abbey Rock 50 years ago and asked the abbeyess to send some of her novices to Port Cavendish. You ask why, and she shakes her head. The better question is, why did the abbeyess send her precious novices to a place like this? You suggest a hefty bribe, or perhaps coercion. The sister cackles harshly. The Sisters of the Rock respect strength of arms, which, of course, the Pirate King knew only too well. He challenged the abbeyess to a duel and won. She didn't have much choice then. She cackles again. Ask our abbeyess if you don't believe me. She was one of those very novices sent across the sea. Alright, 60 fragments. That's good. Meet with the abbeyess. I don't have one recent news, so... Tongue, compile a report. Well, we got other things. Roses and kings. You spend half a day observing the docks and note an astonishing number and a variety of ships. Was that a Cainite Trimarian nestled beside a vessel from the Iron Republic? The dock hands complain loudly that they have never been busier. The caddies talk ceaselessly and carelessly about smuggling and piracy, but even the most hardened sailors lower their voices when they mention the king. Elvis? They go even quieter when you talk about the rose gardens. You make careful notes. Perhaps the Admiralty will understand what they mean, even if you don't. Alright. Will that happen? Where are we going now? Averic's channel. We're supposed to be finding the Fathom King. We gotta go find the Fathom King. It's not. So those are the roses. Those are the exiled roses. Ooh, okay. Up there. Let's go. So I guess that's what they meant by exile roses, is that those are the exiles are the novices that were Reef of Roses. This is a Reef of Roses that were taken from Abbey Rock. Is that it? Is that what you wanted to show me, Z-Bat? I swear to God, if Fathom King Hold is directly next to Shellinate, and I went all the way back to London after that, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna have some complaints, sir. It might be one thing deeper. I'm gonna check the map. It's totally gonna be here. I know what that is. I know what that is. I shouldn't be going over this, but I know what this is. Something wakes. Flee its gaze quickly. I'm fleeing! I shouldn't have gone over that. Okay. That was the eye. The eye. The eye that this game markets like a mofo. Okay. We're not gonna do that again. Something on the horizon, a sickly yellow light glimmers for a moment, then fade. Where is Fathom King's Hold? Please. I just had an episode. Alright, the eye. The eye, I don't think it's always there, but it was there. Where the fuck? Could it be like under here? Hello? Fathom King's Hold. I need you. I wonder what happens if you stay in the gaze of the eye too long. Probably go nuts, or it probably opens up and then eats you. You know? I could stop at Shellinate and get a port report, but I want to find the Fathom King's Hold. Oh, are you a boat or a lighthouse? You're a lighthouse. Home, warmly lit windows, company, peace, thoughts of... Oh. Mirrored city. Okay. Warmly lit windows, company, peace... I'm working on it! Thoughts of home come at the strangest times. A buttery bloom of light on the southern horizon. You approach a Varkas, mirrored city. Jack-a-dandy stack? Where is Varkas? Did I pass it? I probably passed it. Oh no, it's just way down. Down, down, down to the bottom of the sea. Oh god. Discovered Irdames and Varkas. Port Irdames. Artemis. Alright. This looks kosher. Alright. Oh! That looks pretty, actually. Mirrored City, where light was always the law. The walled city of Varcus is a tangle of green vines and luminescent fungal flowers, slow blooming around moldering stone. The quingscits of carved stepped towers raise over the walls and pour burning white light into the bleak sky. A rough, shadowed path leads from docks to the mirrored gates of Varcus. Two towering carved stone lamps throw their lights on angled mirrors, and a blue-cloaked guard stands in the reflected pool of light. The city is a beacon against the tree-hushed, sprawling darkness of the Elder Continent. In far distance, a vast mountain glimmers. Choke on the smell. Sailors wave you over. Is overpoweringly sweet. It comes from the fungus growing wild all over the city's stones. The flowers have white, waxy leaves, which leaves powdery traces on your fingers. The light coming from the city has the same camphorous quality. And the smell, perfume worn too many days on the body, unread books left to turn ink-stained pulp, a garden drowned and rotting in still water. Sailors wave you over. They're sitting on some upturned crates on the docks, playing a game with mirrored chips and stylized snakes made of bone. You're not thinking of going in there, the sailors gawk at you in unconcealed horror. They take turns telling you gruesome stories of Varcus, which they no doubt invented whole cloth. Some are convinced that the Dothraki, render sailors into tallow to light their city. Others say they steal shadows and sell them to their masters. All of them are convinced that they blind any strangers who dare gaze too long upon their city secrets. We're just waiting to be paid, and then we're off, one of the sailors said, nervously fingering a mirror chip. I've only got one eye left, and I'd like to keep it. Ask the guardess a few questions. Never a bad idea to gather a little intelligence before heading into the unknown waters, or cities, as the case may be. The blue-cloaked guard only acknowledges your existence when you step out of the darkness of the path and into the light from the lamps. The guard stands in the middle of the pool of light, looking warily at the darkness beyond you. Up close, the guard's blue cloak is threadbare and mossy along the hem. A pattern of embroidered suns runs along the collar, but the gold thread is dull. The kohl around her eyes is smudged. Well, Tomas, she asks, are you going to ask your question, or are you just going to stare? Her tone is brusque, but her expression is curiously eager. You do not think Varcus receives many visitors. Her name is not Thomas. Correct her politely. Ask about the light. She probably wasn't calling that to be my name. It's probably like a term for foreigners. But I would like to know. Correct her politely. The guard looks at you and tries to stop her ears. All those who are not Varaxi are Tamas. You have been touched by darkness, and it has taken your name. She fixes you with an admonishing look and adds, it is very ill-mannered to pretend you still have one. You begin to see a little why Varcus is not often visited. It looks like you will have to get used to being called Tamas if you wish to enter. So I was right. It is a term for people not from there. Ask about the light. It all seems a bit wasteful, possibly even ostentatious. Why can I pronounce that word right the first time? Such an asshole. We must always walk in mirror's light, so we burn our lamps at night and day to banish darkness from the mirrored city, she tells you proudly. If we let darkness corrupt us, we would not be Varaxi anymore, but Thomas, like you. You wonder, is that so terrible a fate? Her mocking laugh answers you even before her words do. Yes, it would be a terrible indeed, Thomas, and before you ask, she adds, no, I do not have any desire to leave Varcus. The rest of the Neath has fallen for Mira's grace, and I have no wish to join them. Alright. Ask about her job. Ask about her. Does she like her job? Does anyone? It is a great honor to guard the mirrored gates, she snaps defensively. She gestures to the edge of the pool of light illuminating her post. It is very dangerous. Even a small stumble and I could fall into the dark. Her voice goes thready. I would be banished from Mira's grace. I would lose my name. That is why they only send the bravest outside the walls. Alright. Ask about the city's custom. Best to know before you flaunt them. Easier to plan an escape route that way. Don't touch the mirrors. Don't even look into the mirrors, she says, her voice hard. And try very hard not to dream. You are expecting along the lines of, don't murder anyone, only wear red on special occasions? Still, you smile and nod. You have no more questions. You are satisfied, or perhaps the guard's voice is beginning to grate a little. Porque no las dos. She looks a little disappointed, but does not try to engage you further. Alright, we can make a bed. What the? A swing? It's just a simple swing, but for a kid, it's a never-ending source of fun. Oh! Oh, we'll have to build that later! Alright, but first the bed. Place the bed. Horrible outsider disease, or is that what your nose is? Yes, I have a terrible disease!